Going live, going live, going live, and I am live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special, big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, and the retirees. Shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the garbage truck driver, the bus driver, every driver out there. Shout out to everybody going out to work this morning. It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are about to partake of this day. You know, cook up your turkey and ham, and you know what we do already. Put in our flavor in the thing. So curry goat a run to the oxtail a run to the macaroni and cheese and rice and peas and all these things and give thanks. Don't? All right. Shout out to the people who don't celebrate this day, but still will find a reason to make it a good day, regardless, right? Whether you say it's okay, I'm gonna celebrate, but it's for the Indians, or I'm just happy to be home today, come and get a day off from work, and I can spend some time with the family. Whatever the case may be, however your celebration is going, whatever the reason you're celebrating for, happy Thanksgiving to you. All right, here we are this morning. Couple of things to talk about. We're not gonna stay too long today. We're supposed to be here for an hour, all right, but I had to check in. And of course, can't just check in empty handed. So we have some stuff to talk about. All right. Let me big up some people first before we get into the topics. But before I do that, here are the topics. There's a story out about a mother who killed her, a pedophile man who groomed and molested her three sons. When mommy found out, she didn't hesitate. She did the ultimate. Of course, everybody has said, free that woman and big up to her. We're going to talk about that story, and there's a disturbing story out of Westmoreland about a man who was charged with raping a 4-year-old. A 4-year-old. Yeah. Uh, that one is out of Jamaica, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Mr. Killer, yesterday we celebrated Shensia. Today is Mr. Killer's turn. Mr. Killer was awarded the best reggae and dance hall category at the AFRI or the African Music Awards. But he's not a dancehall artist and he's not a reggae singer. But and he's not Jamaican either. But we've seen non-Jamaicans win Grammy for reggae music. So interesting, right? But we're gonna big up Mr. Killer in the same breath while we talk about that. Because the people that he beat out to get that award were people who you would definitely say that's that person who was gonna get it. To include people like Sean Paul, yeah, and Spice. That way. All right. Slickianna case update, the Aneka Townsend trial, not trial, but the case. There's an update to it. I'll give you that update. And then there's a story out there about a policeman who was accused of murder, went through it, and his case went all the way to the Privy Council. Most of you know that the Privy Council is like the highest court. After Jamaica stuff can't be worked out in the Jamaican courts, they send it to the UK. Kind of like where Vibes to Cartel's case is right now, waiting on the decision of the Privy Council. The Privy Council just overturned this police officer's conviction, and after 19 years, he is back on the police force and back to duty. However, people are saying the man here get away with murder. It has something to do with a woman. We're going to talk about that. So those are the stories for this morning, and we're going to try to run through them in an hour. So just bear with the speed and all these things. Again, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And who's tuning in, big up yourself and thank you for being here this morning. Please hit that thumbs up button for us this morning as you come in. Carrie Ann Jones, big up yourself. First one in this morning. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you for being here. Rosalind Smichael is next, and then Guava 876. Nikki B is in the building. Carrie Ann was here from early. From me, I put on my clothes because me they are rushing up. And me, I said, why? Okay, so Flo, come put on your pants now. Because I don't want to end up on here again and look down halfway through the show and realize me sit down here and I'm in drawers. So I was getting dressed. And for accidentally, I hit the button and it sent the video that I was ready to go and Carrie Ann was ready. So Carrie Ann, big up yourself, not for only being the first one here, but for actually staying here and actually waiting till me come on the live. So see we are, we're there. All right. Big up some more people. Lady J is in the building this morning. Dorothy T is in the building this morning. If I don't call your name, you know how it go. There are lots of people this morning who won't be tuning in because they will be sleeping in because they actually got a day off from work. Them job closed down today. Walmart and all these places are closed today. So people can stay home and these things. Those people will watch later. So Flo, I'm tired. I have to go sleep, man. You know, some would have normally tune into the live still, but that's on my way to work. Today, I have the day off, so I'm sleeping in. I'll catch up later. Big up to you when you finally tune in. All right? All right. Sharon Ingram, Brickhouse is in the building. Jane Ander is here. Les Steph is here. Pussy Galore is in the building. Dorothy T is here. Old St. John, Lil Red Gucci 2. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Pussy Galore, I said that already. Had to say it again. Marilyn Grant is in the building. Crystal G, Kai Tai Jai Empress is here. 3 turkeys. Big up yourself. Bromwell Wright is in the building. Welcome, family. Big up yourself and thank you for being here. Senior Sexy there, Sharon Spence, Karen Notice, Marvin Point, Jamaica Kerr is here this morning. Stacey Ann Williams is here this morning. Thank you for being here. King Biggs there and Janet Stewart and Wayne Nathan, Charma D Star is here as well as Maxine Good as Gold, Nikki B as well, and Rosalind Smichael. All right. Normal Jean, thank you for being here as well. Naturally Yours is in the building too. All right, where do we start? I think I should start out with the lady. Some of these women are just, I don't know, brave and strong. And sometimes them have to do what a man was supposed to do. I'm one of the people them that say I believe in jungle justice. Some people say, so Flo, you can't say you're a man of the law and you believe in jungle justice. Well, sometimes justice don't work. And sometimes the only way to handle it is that way. I come from a time in Jamaica where certain things you wouldn't make it to court, period. And when communities held on to people, when them hold someone, those people would actually be praying for the police to come get them. And sometimes they would make it in time, and a lot of the times they wouldn't. I'm talking about cases where you are absolutely sure that this is it. Not grab a wrong person and kill a wrong person, but when you are absolutely sure. So hats off to this mom. Hats off to this mom because she did what she was supposed to do. 3 brothers were attacked by a pedophile who changed his identity to hide his 24 child abuse convictions. Today admitted that they're glad that their mom killed the man that did that to them. Her name is Sarah Danks, and Sarah Danks drank 2 bottles of wine. She opened the 2 bottle of wine, finished the 2 of them. You know, she did drunk because me drink 1 bottle of wine and I'm tongue over. She drank 2 bottles of wine and then she went to the home of Michael Plested in a neighboring block of flats in East London. Shout out to my London family. And she stabbed that man 8 times. 8 times. Her brave sons have all now turned 18 and they have waived their right to remain anonymous in order to support their single mother who is out of prison after doing 4 years and now campaigning for a tightening of the rules and laws surrounding sex offenders being allowed to change their names. This sex offender was far ahead thinking of the system, and what he did was he changed his name, which gave him a blight. So anytime him go places now, his regular real name wouldn't pop up in the system, and it wasn't registered and attached to his new name. So essentially, just changing his name, what happened was he gained a new identity. And then he was able to get himself into places where he could molest people's children. So again, big up to that mother. She did what she was supposed to do. One of the boys, Bradley, admitted that he had immediately thought, hats off to my mom, when he learned that she had stabbed Mr. Plested to death. His twin siblings said that they felt safer after this man was taken out of the world. In an extraordinary new BBC documentary that is called Killing My Children's Abuser, I'm giving you something to go watch. It's called Killing My Children's Abuser. Just look it up and you can watch it. The boys were asked if they were happy that Mr. Plested had died. And they replied immediately, all three of them, one time, like a chorus. Oh, yes. Immediately. They said, definitely. Reese added, one of them, what were they doing? Let him out of jail in the first place. What would make you think that he's not going to think? I know I'm gonna get caught. I shouldn't be doing this. What made the system think that it was okay to let this man out in the first place? Remember, I know he has over 20 convictions already, and he was let out. The mother of five was also filmed crying outside of her apartment the apartment where she had stabbed the victim. So it's not something that she wanted to do. That's why she drank the 2 bottles of wine before she went over there. But it's something she felt like she had to do. She said, he took everything from me. Still, to this day, there are no words to describe how it eats me up inside. He ripped my family apart because, of course, she had to go do some prison time, but she got lucky and she got let out in only 4 years. He ruined my life and he tried to take the most precious things in my life. Those babies, they are not going to wake up one day and this hasn't happened. Those babies, they are not going to wake up one day and this hasn't happened. In other words, this is going to be stuck with them for the rest of their lives. They're not going to wake up one day and poof, it's all gone. This never happened. So she's looking at the ramifications of all this on her children. She knows, you know what I mean? Most people who are sexually abused or molested, it never leaves them. It never leaves their mind. And it affects their life in ways that are usually negative. A lot of girls that are sexually abused, for example, they turn out to be either promiscuous or completely introverted, or they even switch sides and decide, I have no feelings for a male, where she was no otherwise heading in that direction. You know what I'm saying? But she's so turned off by what happened to her and the species of human that did it. She don't want to see them kind of something there no more. So even as a woman now, when she starts to try to date, and she's into guys, she still can't see herself being intimate with a guy. So if a guy was the one that did it to her, she's now turned all the other way to the other side. All kinds of stuff happen to people who've suffered these kind of things. And the mom is saying she knows this and she knows that this is never going to leave her children. She felt the need to do this. A legal loophole allowed registered sex offenders to change their names by deed poll. The ploy can help individuals get a new driver's license and passport and even a new clean DBS criminal record check to allow them access to children. Wow. A Labour MP is now saying, and you see, it's the mom that is now out of prison and she's revising the laws. And she is, after it happened to her with her children, she found out that this person is not actually the person she thought it was. He's somebody else. He's actually a serial molester, right? and with over 20 convictions at that. So anyhow, I would start the morning off this morning giving thanks and saying if a boy ever touch one of mine or a girl ever touch one of mine, it'll be the same thing. And I will feel like I said this before on this channel, and some people say, you not think I thought you were smart or somebody that have sense, but you're not thinking with sense, so flow. Because if you do that, then the rest of your picnic them are gonna have them father lock up and all that. And I said I would employ my mom, I would employ the children's mothers, I would employ family members I can trust, put things in place, but that person would have to die. Period. Some people say that, right? And they don't really mean it. And I've seen this happen in real life. I'm on earth quite some time now. I see case come down, people ball out rape, they know who did it. The father get freed. The same father that used to say, yo, if a boy ever do this to my daughter, I say, and the father get freed. Me not get freed. I'm not getting shaky at that time. There's some things in life, my friend, where you have to decide that this is it. None of us are going to live forever. I think I could choose how I want to go. I would be that much my mind made up. This is it. And that would just have to be done. I can truly relate to what this mother did. Feel it to my bone, and I would have done the same thing twice. Yeah, do it and do it over again. If me get a kill him and kill him again, if me get a chance to. Right? Stacey Ann Williams says he needs to be in jail forever and be handled in jail. Why did they let him out? That's the system for you. That's the system for you. Yes, and him deserved that, Stacey Ann. Exactly. He deserved that. But I tip my hat to her because I know it gotta be hard. You're not no criminal. You're not no killer. You never killed nobody before. This is not in your mindset. But and then this situation does present itself in your life, and you're trying to think as a parent. Put yourself in that shoe. You try to think yourself, as a parent, how do I handle this? You're looking at your three boys and you're knowing that them three boys are messed up mentally. She's probably blaming herself, single mother, three picnic, a set of twins and a boy after. And she's like, boy, nobody is here to protect them kids but me. Look what I had, look what I made happen to them. You know, parents tend to blame themselves for things like these. Good parents, anyways. You know, I'm probably working too hard because she's single. She got to work. She got to make ends meet. She probably have two jobs. Who knows, right? And she's not able to be there all the time for her kids. Have them around people that you trust. That's why I'm saying trust is to be earned, not given. Remember when I said that? Trust is to be earned, not given. So all my compassion is with this woman. And yeah, if she did still lock up, me would have said free her right now. But she got lucky and she is free. As the universe worked in her favor, as it should. Not true? Very understanding. He got exactly what he deserved. Yes, Patsy, I agree. Now, with that said, let me ask a question real quick before I go on to the next topic. How many of you in here, knowing that this happened to your child, knowing that it is true and this is the person that did it, what would be your next action? What you would have do after? Nobody answering. I see a lot of people say he deserved that. A lot of people will say he deserved that, but not too many people will go the extra mile. Him deserve murder and him deserve death, so I'm gonna give him death. That's kind of different from saying he deserves death. And I hope the law handle it. I hope the police them get him. That's different. I hope they give him enough time. This mom decided different. Yeah. Jane Anders says overkill. That is it. She shouldn't have gone to jail in the first place. And yeah, Sarah, absolutely. I think the same thing. She should have never went to jail in the first place. Sad that she had to go do 4 years, you know, and could have done longer. She made up her mind she was going to do life if it was life, but things worked in her favor. So after 4 years, She had some time to sit and think and all this. I'm sure she didn't change her mind. Make sure she has said right now that if I had it to do all over again, I probably would have stabbed him more. Or I probably would have made sure I hit the neck instead of just the chest. I probably would have made sure because boy, the children are still here. And now she's having to deal with what happened to them, you know, with they just turned 18. She went to prison 4 years ago. So 17, 16, 15, 14. So they were well teens. And I guess this happened before. Yeah, they were even teens. Mm-hmm. Murder. Brother, I'm with you. I would have gone their same way. King Big said, yes, for sure. I don't even want to talk. What I would do to that man, says Stash. Just like that. All right, so we're all in agreement here pretty much that Mummy did what she had to do. Moving right along. And again, I tip my hats to her. Grenadian Mr. Killer wins Best Reggae and Dancehall Award at the AFRI MMA, which is a prestigious award, by the way, that encompasses African music and African diaspora type influence type music by our type kind of thing, right? It's a prestigious award. Big names go to this award and look forward to being awarded or even nominated. So Mr. Killer was announced as the winner of the Best Reggae and Dancehall category. I know say no fan know Mr. Killer, especially you ladies, no fan know him. I see Mr. Killer perform a couple of times already. Too much whining for me to watch. Because I don't want to watch a next man wind up himself, you know. Fling he pelting waist real hard. I'm telling you, he whining, he going down, he coming up, he doing all that, he picking up all them big, strong woman, big so carrying them now. And that's Mr. Killer. Mr. Killer perform. While one heap of woman and Mr. Killer thing, Brazil come off and reach past stage. Yee, and Panthea fly up there. Yee, hey, cause them want a piece of the wine. Them mad wine is. So I don't really watch Mr. Killer per se. I'm not gonna sit and watch him whine and whine and whine and him do a whole heap of whining. But I never saw him as somebody who could win this award. However, this brings to mind something that I want to say. Naturally, yours says, I want a fat girl, I want a fat girl, I want a roly poly, I want a big girl. Why? Yeah, him fit, yeah, fit for the way him do. I agree, I agree. The Grenadian Soca Superstar was voted as the category's winner over the likes of Spice, Shensia, Steph London, Popcorn, Alkaline. You hear them name there? And he won in that category. Now, Mr. Killer, whose real name is Hollis Mapp, they said that he was emotional when he received his prestigious award at Gillies in Dallas, Texas, USA. I am emotional being here tonight because so much people said that I just wouldn't make it. But I want to thank the Almighty Father. I want to thank my mother and my friends and fans and family, he said. Soca is not a genre of the awards, this particular awards, but Mr. Killer, of course, is hoping that his victory will open opportunities for other artists in that genre to be awarded in that manner. Well, there are enough people who are saying right now a foolishness that because the category name dancehall and reggae, and this man sing soca music and come win award in a dancehall and reggae category. And I can't really blame them. I can't really fault them because it don't really make no sense still. You know, it don't. If you're going to award soca, then you have to have a soca category. Not true? And that's kind of a disrespect to soca. I said it on social media. Some people are cussing me, right? But why are you cussing me? Listen to what I'm saying. How are you going to respect soca if you can't even make a category for soca to recognize soca and soca artists? So why you put them under dancehall and reggae? It's a slap in the face to all the genres. You just heap up in a one just so. So big up to Mr. Killer. Me glad him win the big old prestigious award. Them fly you in and you go on all, you know the thing already. Big superstar event. The who's of who's are there. But recognize the genre though. If you're really going to recognize the genre, recognize the genre. You can't push him under dancehall and reggae and then cut out actual dancehall and reggae artists. You see, I don't know. I think stuff like this is what keeps us infighting. You know, the little infighting thing we are going. Can you have dancehall artists where I say, yo, a dancehall thing this, what a boy are doing here, so. You have reggae artists that are saying, after me not do dancehall, why we are going to put dancehall and reggae? You should have a category for reggae, category for that. But then there's confusion within the genre itself because there are some people, prominent people, by the way, who say, I only the new school picking them, I thought that reggae and dancehall is the same thing in one. Well, to those people, they don't see anything wrong with an award show that awards reggae and dancehall mix up in a one. I understand the reasoning that dance hall is a hall where dancehall music was played. Dancehall is a hall where reggae music was played. And the music that was played inside the hall is called dance hall. That means that if a fast or if a slow, if a Bob Marley or if a Elephant Man, if a something for me single bed or a weddy, it's still one music. I don't know about that. Is Junior Gang actually here says us still? You know, that's why I said prominent people within the industry. Is Junior Gang I heard describe it like that. Him said dancehall and reggae is one thing, but I don't think so. I've always described dancehall as reggae music's unruly sibling. Whether you want to call a her or a he, it's reggae music's unruly sibling. Said this before. Reggae music is where your skirt long, or even if the skirt short, you keep your leg them closed. You operate in a manner that is more conservative, right? That's reggae. And then reggae is also more of a cerebral thing. Yeah, you dance to a beat, but the words are always conscious with a conscious message behind it. Dancehall music, not so much. Yes, we have dancehall music that have conscious message in it, but of lately, you see what is mainstream for dancehall, and is mostly, boom half cocky and split open leg all the time, pum pum print out every time, a whole heap of gyrating and simulation of sex acts. In the dance, you have the daggering, you have the this, the that, and the other. Like, it's two different things for me. We have split that into two, where now in this time it is properly defined. Dancehall is dancehall, reggae is reggae. That's just my perception. Not true? But I also see the world looking at our music and our artists differently. Yeah, we might get one and two go through the gate and we're happy for them and then Busway and they're doing collabs with international stars and they're touring the world and all this. But I think we could be sending out more people. And that is why 90s is still the golden era. Because in the 90s dancehall, almost all of them was out and stunting. Almost all the artists them with a big song, fly out, gone, touring the world, doing collabs. America wanted to be on our music. Not that I'm defining our culture by American standards. I'm just saying when international A-listers who are worth a whole lot are craving for your thing and coming to you for your thing, you have something. See? Then came this genre. Yeah, one and two people, but not like before. Not like before. And I think it's because the low, I don't know. It must have something to do with, in my mind, it has something to do with the whole heap of killing. Like Mr. Killer, his name is Mr. Killer, but he's a man that is killing girls with wine. Him killing woman with wine, and that's the only killing him doing. And if you listen to his music, nothing in our music said nothing about killing, unless you're killing somebody with a wine, right? And that is it. And I think the world is at that place. The same thing is going on for Afro beats with us. I think the Grammys are closing down or have closed down. Is the Grammys one of them big award here have closed out our section, and it no longer exists, or they're planning to put Afrobeats in place of it. And I think that's because you know see how Afrobeat become big. Few years ago when my sister told me she was listening to African music, I was like, yeah, I listen to African music too. But when she played it, I distinctly remember what I'm hearing now. And I wasn't onto it yet. Afrobeats. I know Afrobeats has taken dancehall run kind of space kind of thing. I think it's because people can more relate to it as clean, wholesome, marketable, no violence attached to it, and that kind of stuff. And that's why it has taken our place, kind of thing. But back to the Mr. Killer thing. Big up yourself, Mr. Killer. I know me see you perform already. Um, you do your thing. You've been doing your thing for a while, actually. So it's good to see you be rewarded for that. And always, when people tell you about you can't make it or you're not gonna make it, is another one of those stories. A lot of people told him couldn't do, him couldn't sing, him not gonna make it, and all these things. And there he is, right? So I salute that. But to the awards, please fix the genres, because you can't be awarding. That's like somebody awarding Shabba Ranks an R&B Grammy. And the Grammy goes to Shabba Ranks. Ding a ling a ling in R&B. Everybody would be like, "What? Wait. He doesn't even do R&B. Why is he getting the R&B award? It wasn't even for a collab with R&B, like Lady Saw. Why is he getting that?" So you see what I say? Fix up the thing. What is the difference between soca and calypso? And there is reggaeton in all of this. Oh, where is reggaeton in all of this? Good question. Reggaeton has its own industry. The funny thing is, reggaeton has gone ahead of dancehall that reggaeton came from. Just to hear the word, right? Reggaeton. And if you ask all of them, they will tell you that yes, it came from right. I mean, do the whole history already. But for everybody that was around back then, or if you study the music, you will know that there was a rhythm back then called the dembow rhythm. Dembow, 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 dembow. Shabba Ranks did come out on dembow rhythm with that song where you just hear me a go on with, and that rhythm, a lot of other big names. Back in a time when 20 artists used to go up on one rhythm, dembow rhythm took off and took itself all the way to South America and all these other places, and they started Puerto Rico and so on and so forth, Dominican Republic, and they started their own genre off of the dembow rhythm. The funny thing is, today their market has superseded dancehall reggae market on an international level. I was in Europe, Germany, London, couple of places in Europe, and they would play a couple of dancehall songs, but mostly the Sean Paul and the Shaggy. Not got deep in a dancehall, and then there would be reggaeton like 20 songs straight, and the people them was enjoying it, and it was festive to party to and all that. Festive to party to dancehall music too, but it was already phasing out. They were already reggaeton was already taking over, making their big mark. Their market is way bigger, right? I don't know. Spanish people stay to them, support them thing. Mm, they support them thing to the fullest. Panama originated reggaeton. Well, I would say Jamaica originated reggaeton, King Biggs. Jamaica originated reggaeton. Panama, you're right. I can't say that. I would say Jamaica originated reggae, and reggaeton is from reggae, obviously. To the grassroots of it, we are the creator of it because it's still the same dembow rhythm that runs it to this day. They just put different variations of it. Reggaeton. If you listen to a reggaeton bass line, something, you will still hear the dembow on it. Whether them speed it up, slow it down, however. So yeah, it was in Panama. En General was one of them, and I forgot what the other Daddy, not Daddy Yankee, but Daddy Yankee was in the earlier. But there was another one that had a big afro, like a picky afro, and used to, and he's like from the slums of. They did videos back in the day, and him say, "Yo, around here we have zinc fence and ghetto just like Jamaica, you know, and carry go one part, run one place, Panama there, and show you." So yeah, I can't remember his name, but yeah, you're right. You're right. And then see that funny thing is today, I don't see them working with too many reggae artists, although it named Nardo Boom was one. I think I him you know. I think it's him. I don't see them working with too many dancehall artists who created that form of reggae, that dancehall beat, the dembow rhythm. Them not reach back like that. I find how should I put this now? Let me be careful. How me I gonna say this? Them work with who them look like, kind of say something like that. You know, they I think they work with who they look like, who is easier to pass as. And me don't know. Me see them work with Russian. You know Russian. Y'all know Russian, the producer, right? That work with Vibes Cartel. Some of Vibes Cartel biggest songs in a dancehall was with Russian at that period. Straight jeans and fitted. Them kind of song there. Them work with Sean Paul. Russian and Sean Paul, them look like the same of the same persuasion. Them work with Sean Paul, them work with Russian, they will work with Shensia. Uh I think even Shaggy, but I don't see them reaching back like back in idea kind of thing. But that's how it is. Dominican Republic, I've always said I've met Dominicans who they'll cry if you tell them anything have to do with black is in them, and they really don't like black people. That's kind of the vibe I get with reggaeton. You know, it's like yeah, we ripped it off from over there, and this is the foundation of our new genre, but we don't really mess with them people. They still, unless they look like us and they're passable like us. That's the vibe I get from it. Music is music, and music cross boundaries. Maybe it's just me, but that's my vibe that I get from that. In May, Panama celebrates their Caribbean ancestry. O St. John says. Well, big up to Panama for that. Big up to. I think Panama is one of the places them that have outside of Africa the most people of African descent, next to Brazil and another one. I think it's Brazil and next one, then Panama. And I was watching a documentary the other day about places where Jamaicans are scattered, and Panama was one of them that's on the list as well. Anyhow, an update to the Slickiana case. Aneka Townsend, Slickiana, you know, she was found. You already know that's part of the story, how she was found. And the youth, when they rush in, and it's supposed to be that his family was connected, and them have a whole heap of money, and them can't hold him. Stash says, Panama man, ladies, don't pass on them. Ratted. Stash, where you try starting here? Stash said, ladies, don't pass on them. How would that mean? You know, one big Panamanian dude, you know, coming at a barber shop one time and pick up one of the pick up one of the girls them that work at the barber shop. She work at the as a hairstylist. And my boy pick her up like with ease and put her up on his shoulder, like front facing. Just pick her up off her ground and throw her leg them over her shoulder, so and her leg them gone, so and her torso is here. And just a walk around with a woman like this, and I was like, you know, crutches on him, face and everything. Just randomly did it out of, and it wasn't his woman. So I don't know. That's the kind of perception I have when you talk about Panama man and ladies don't pass on them. You must know why. Yeah, I said don't pass on them. Stash, explain to him, man. ¿Qué pasa? Jane Anderson, ¿qué pasa? Very hardworking, and let's say they're not shy. Oh, Stash is being modest. Okay, okay. Stash said they're very hardworking and they are not shy, let's say, not shy sexually. So I guess I same thing she talk about then. Yeah, the brother just come in and choke the woman and big and the girl wasn't tiny. She wasn't tiny. She would have need some assistance to pick her up myself. At the time them in Maga like tread anyway. But if you put her way up there so. But I don't want big trapping you though. Anyhow. Rushan Patterson, before we go all the way down the wrong road this morning. Rushan Patterson and Rohan Rose, the two men facing charges in connection with the murder of 35-year-old social media personality Aneka Slickiana Townsend, have had their bail hearings scheduled. The men were given the dates. I know some people have said bail hearing. What am I going for bail hearing for? Well, that's how the law works, right? They haven't been found guilty yet. So that's all. On the stop, no man. They haven't been found guilty yet. Watch carry on, George. She, boy, there's, come on, man, come. The men were given the dates by presiding High Court Justice Andrea Thomas following their first appearance in the St. James Circuit Court on Wednesday. That was yesterday. Then their cases, which were heard separately, has been earlier transferred from the St. James Parish Court due to a bail of voluntary indictment, which would treat the hearing of their matter in the circuit court as a new matter altogether. So it's a privilege then. So what they did was they said the courts where they're at is going to be biased. So let's send it to another court that will treat it as a entirely new matter. Privilege. Patterson, who's 33 years old, he's charged with murder in relation to Slickiana's death, while Rose, the 47-year-old security guard, he's charged with misprison of a felony for failing to report a crime. You witness something in Jamaica, the law says you're supposed to report it. You don't report it, you could be charged with misprison of a felony. It's an actual charge. During the brief hearing of Patterson's case, Attorney Michelle Thomas requested that her client be granted a date for a bail application to be made. December 15th was for the hearing. Moments later, Rose and his bail hearing was set for November 28th. So Rose are gonna go up for bail 4 days from now. It's the 24th. He'll be going up for bail on the 28th. That's the security guard that they said witnessed or knows and saw. I don't know what him see exactly. I would like to hear the details of the case. Did he see Russia and move her from the place to I think the story is out there. We covered that before too, but I don't remember. Somebody please put me on track. I don't remember. But anyways, he'll be up for bail in 4 days. He'll be up for bail on the 28th. And Rushan will be up for bail on December 15th. He, Rose, has been in custody since November 4th. About 3 weeks now. Plus, he has lost his job and his livelihood is affected. That is the crime. He has lost his job and his livelihood is affected. When you commit crime or when you witness crime, and me think him facilitate, uh, those are things that are expected. You're expected to lose your job and your livelihood to be affected. But here we are. So that's the premise that they're coming under. Your Honor, this man didn't commit any crime. He might have witnessed something, however, could have been in fear of his own life why he didn't speak up in time. However, he's willing to admit now, and he's lost his livelihood. He's unemployed now, so we're making things worse for him. That's how the lawyer is going to go in there to defend him. He poses no risk of flight, Your Honor, and he was never in hiding. He didn't run. He's always been here. So it's somebody that we can trust. Give him his bail. Make him go back to work and get his life back on track. Thomas argued, this is what the lawyer actually said. Thomas argued that Rose should have been offered bail when his case was before the parish courts in the first place. Both men are further remanded. So them in a jail and they're gonna stay there until their bail hearing comes up. Russia bail hearing December 15th. Mr. Rose bail hearing 4 days from now. Townsend's body was found, for those of you who don't know, Townsend's body was found floating out in the sea in Reading, St. James on October 21st. And the post-mortem examination determined that she was strangled. According to police reports, Townsend had traveled from Kingston to Montego Bay on the 20th of that same month, October 20th, and she was dead by the 21st. And she was later picked up by Mr. Patterson himself, following which they visited a restaurant, a popular restaurant where many people saw them, and then they went off to a guest house. It is further reported that during the night, some kind of argument happened between the two of them, following which Patterson strangled Slickiana, Aneka Townsend, and then disposed of her body. I'm still puzzled by that because if the girl only come to meet you on the 20th, what could have happened so bad that you felt you needed to kill her and she dead by the 21st? You know vibes go already. When you go see somebody that you haven't seen in a minute or somebody that is fresh and new, when you go talk and when you go eat, y'all went to a restaurant that is pretty pricey and also a very public place where people see you know, and then by the time you reach home, fight start. I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. But I know what they're trying to pull. It's like this wasn't premeditated. This was crime of passion at worst. At worst. At best, of course, they're going to try to get him out of there saying he had nothing to do with it. But I think they have more than just forensic, more than just hearsay that links him to. Not think, I know. They have more than just hearsay that links him. They actually have forensic that links him to the case. So, with that said, we'll see what comes out of this one. Just keeping up to date with it. We still haven't heard anything else about the Donnelly Donaldson case, which we are supposed to be following. And you see how everybody did I say her name, Donnelly Donaldson, and typing it. All right. Weeks have gone by now. I don't see not one person say her name anymore. I don't see not one person say Donnelly. What's going on with the Donnelly Donaldson case and anything? But I think Noel Maitland also has a bail hearing coming up too, sometime in the future. And his bail was denied before. Let's see if it'll be denied again, and then they should have a court date set for when he shall be tried. Right? Her case comes back up in February. All right, and there we have it. So February for that one. 4 days from now for the security guard. December 15th for Rushan, and we'll see where this goes. Enough people are saying Maga beat it because them don't have nothing strong on him. And I hope that's not the case. But if him innocent, and may he not be incarcerated as an innocent man. But if him guilty, then I hope the worst happens. Right? Still have to give benefit of the doubt. Because I tell people all the time to go and watch where's show call again? The Innocence Project. Go watch the Innocence Project. If you watch a couple of episodes of the Innocence Project, you will start to learn how to say, if look, even if in your heart and soul, right, you say to yourself, say, the boy guilty. Cause no way your name call up in so many stuff. The woman with throat get cut, she come back from dead. The lady actually survived and come point you out that the boy guilty. Even if you say that, right? Even if we say that, because we can say that, doesn't necessarily mean that in this case he actually did do the killing. But I'm just saying that's how the courts work. And I've seen it happen where all kinds of evidence points to somebody to the point where I'm even like, yes, I'm guilty, dash him away. And when it's all broken down and suss out, I know him do it. It's not him do it. So let's see how it goes. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm talking about cases I've seen. Not talking about Russian. Rashad case, me no want to show too much and say nothing much. Some people say, y'all talk about these cases on your show, and you know that this will make the case go bad and will make the judge them say this and the lawyer them say that. And I'm like, no, it won't. No. And if it does, that's a court system that needs to be thrown out. The public is always going to talk. The public is always going to have an opinion. And the public, a John public, a whole heap of opinion out there. So you can't stop the public from talking. But what the public is saying should never affect what is going on in a courtroom. Courtroom's supposed to deal with evidence and facts, not what we're saying outside, because we're going to say anything. Not true? So yeah, to the people them, Soflo just left the one alone, man. Why you not keep talking about it? And his vloggers like you will make so no, it's not. We don't affect that in that way. Social media is good though, as we have seen, because when we apply pressure, we see things being done. So we know it works. But as far as the decision and who's guilty versus who's not, that shouldn't come from us and our platform. That should come from inside of a courtroom. Judge, jury, lawyers, fight it out in there. And then we'll talk about the rest. Maitland have some kind of plea deal in February. He either give up Donnelly's body or they haven't agreed to any plea deal in February. They might come at him with one, but I don't know. I haven't seen where they've agreed to any plea deal. He's still pleading his innocence. So obviously, when you're pleading your innocence, you're not going to plead to a plea deal. You're going to say, I'm innocent and me never kill her. And him still I say him innocent and him never do her nothing. So I don't know about plea deal. But of course, with the amount of evidence them have against him, he's probably going to have to end up coming up with a plea deal. I was saying though that I think that in order for him to get a plea deal, they should have it on the table where him tell them and carry them or show them where her body is. So her family has some kind of a closure. Her mom is going to be stuck on that for the rest of her life. What happened to my daughter? Is she in a landfill somewhere decomposing? Did they grind her up in a big meat grinder? Did they feed her to hogs? Did they, dismember and bury her? Oh God, my daughter! It's gonna be tearing her apart. It's gonna be tearing her apart. So that little piece there that could have bring some kind of dignity, I think, should be a part of his plea deal if it comes to that. The man might just rob him time. Because we telling her before, the way how she was done, in order to fit her into that couch to get her out of that apartment, the way how she was done is not the kind of way you want to come say, be 100% about. Everybody are gonna look upon you like, Jesus Christ, you're wicked. Why you do her like that though? And then you're asking for leniency after saying I dismembered her. That's the reason why I think he won't be able to say it. So he will definitely be not taking no plea deal and still maintaining his innocence, even after them find him guilty and sentence him. That's just my prediction of this case. But watch and see. All right. Our next story there. Why some of the man for dead in a man. Like, um, I'm so about jungle justice. Yo, listen, I'm not pushing this on anybody either. Come, you know what? Nobody gonna say, "Oh, there's a platform over here that is telling people to go against the law and murder people outside of the law." Now, that may I talk about. But check it. Westmoreland, Jamaica, a 26-year-old construction worker. Now, when I first heard this story, right, it was only an accusation, and when he got accused, he ran. The man run. And when him run, there was another update to the story saying he's being sought after. People are look for him. Him run because the community was coming down on him and they were going to exercise justice and them thing upon him, if you know what I mean. So him run. Next thing I heard, he was in police custody. And then the update is he has been charged. Westmoreland, a Jamaican man, 26 years old, construction worker, was on Tuesday charged with raping a 4-year-old neighbor of his. 4 years old. My little 4-year-old daughter outside are playing at the yard, and you work next door and you're my neighbor, and that's going on in your head. Like you're looking at my 4-year-old with some sexual intention in mind. Man, to shoot you from across the fence, brother. Yeah. You see, I tell people this all the time, and people, oh, you're insecure or whatever. Looks is a big thing. I actually put up a video where I said adults need to control their looks, but also you need to be aware of others looking, because it starts with a look. When you first realize that your hobby or your person who you are into now or somebody who you checking for now, when you first realized that they were checking back for you was when you saw that look. That was the first time. So looks mean something. A look can say, leave me the F alone. A look can say, I'm not approachable, don't speak to me. A look can say, I'm feeling you, come here. Let's have a conversation. I want to get to know you. You could say all of that with a look. A look can say, me can't stand that person you move from side of me. A look can say, you smell like SHIT and you look like Ray Ray, I mean, I like you. A look can say many different things. So we have to pay attention to how some of them people around here are look power picnic them. You understand what I'm saying to you? All right. This man over the fence, I lost after a little 4-year-old from when? A baby. Reports from the police are that the child was left at Jarrett's mother's house during her absence. So them left the picnic at his mom's house without his mom being there. And it alleged that that is when he sexually assaulted this child. Now, if a grown ass man is 26, 27 and sexually assault a 4-year-old, not to be graphic, but it's not going to be hard to tell that something happened, right? That's why I was waiting for this part of the story. I say if they charge him, I'm going to talk about it. If they don't charge him and they let him go, that's because probably it wasn't, like somebody accused him of, and then them charge him. They don't just charge you for nothing. They don't just look at you and charge you based on an accusation, right? There are some type of proof there that led to a charge being laid against them. Yeah, we have some clean clothes, mad people around way. That's real. Veronica Girl says mad people misread looks. Mad people misread looks. But most people don't pay attention to looks. They pay attention to the looks they want to get. Like when you're looking in the direction of somebody that you think is so fine and you want to get that person attention, you will look for that look there. If you're looking at a room and you think, if you walk in a room and you think, say, carry on in here, I mean, I like carry on, I know so the girl can't stand me neither. You might have pick up and carry on look and looking at you like she want to tear off your head. People look where they want to look. People see what they want to see. But if you start reading people looks, you will see what I'm saying though. It all starts with a look. All starts with a look. I told you all this before. I was in a grocery store, right? But they're Walmart, and a little girl. I don't, and this is for you parents too with small children. Stop dressing your daughters in them little tiny shorts there, and then when you put them in the shopping cart, the poor little baby leg them open, cause she sit down Indian style. Them call it sitting down, and I leg them wide open, and right in our catches. That's all. I'm in the grocery store already. I'm a see grown ass man, and he's staring right in between the little picnic leg in the shopping cart. And the mother is there, and she have other kids around her, and she's not paying attention to who's looking at her daughter in any kind of way. You see me? Me look on I see everything. When I might not say something, but I see everything. That day, I just started staring at him like this, and I wasn't blinking. I wasn't trying to look anywhere else. I wanted this man to know that there's a grown man right here in front of you, looking at you, seeing what you're looking at. I mean, I look upon you just like this. He was so caught up in looking in between the little girl's legs. He never see me for a while. When he finally saw me, the man jumped like say, when somebody get caught doing something wrong, he gave an exact jump reaction and just walk off with speed. I don't know, I always think I was on the juice aisle. And mommy did I go through juices and which one to choose or whatever. So you have to be careful out here. You have to be careful out here. These kind of people, when I was coming up in Jamaica, they wouldn't last. Them wouldn't last. If the public catch them before police catch them, it's a funeral planning. Those days are gone. Like the man them get soft now. The man them start befriend with these people. Like when people like this are convicted based on facts, we sure say you're guilty, them get locked up. You have man in there where a pound off them fist still. And yo, my brethren, and nobody shouldn't talk to them kind of money. Them money shouldn't even be allowed to live. Honestly. I mean, what part of you as a grown man find yourself thinking about a child in that manner? Like, how does it happen? You know, how does it happen? Me can't figure it out. And it can't be normal. It can't be normal at all. So something wrong with you. And again, clean clothes, mad people around me. It's a different kind of madness that though. Right? Seymour says, with one missing body part. Yeah. So let me end this part of this by saying this. For people like this, I think that castration, because you have one missing body part, right? I think castration should be put on the books. Now, if Jamaica want to be humane, there is castration without physically removing the body part. You know, if you cut off the sitting, you can chemically castrate somebody. And some countries are doing it. I think that's one of the things we could call for in Jamaica. We can, just like how we are called for a whole heap of cameras around the place and CCTVs with central monitoring points and all these other things, we can call for chemical castration of anybody that is caught doing this and is found guilty beyond the shadow of a doubt, reasonable doubt. We have facts and proof you did this. Your DNA found inside of this 4-year-old can't say nothing more after that. Chemical castration. That thing in front of you should never work again, no matter how you think about. Yeah, O St. John, I understand that. O St. John says, yeah, but they're going to use other stuff like objects and fingers and whatever else. Yeah, for the one them what we can't catch, for give them full kind of justice, right? I think the law, at the least, should bring it to a chemical castration. Yeah. Trust me, if there's anything that is a deterrent for a man, it will be that. When him find out that that's something that can't work again for the rest of his life, I think he'll probably think twice before, yeah, before doing. And we don't have to worry about the bloody part of it. We don't have to worry about being inhumane. Just saying, oh, you steal, I chop off your right hand. You steal again, me chop off your left hand. No, you don't have no hands to steal. We're not going that drastic. This is something that is real. This is something that is very humane, and this is something that is practiced by other places. So we know that it works. I think we could get on board with this and call for this as well. Chemical castration of any pedophile who is convicted of and make it a certain age and below. From a picnic age, do away with it. These type of people don't change, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you, but they don't. I mean, know some people are gonna say, "Oh, floor, people can change." No, I mean, I think so. Them kind of people that can change. I think they're like this for the rest of their life. Yeah. So yeah, chemical castration for him and anybody like him. Moving right along though, nasty boy. They haven't said where he's going to be going to court at and anything. The report said that the statement was recorded from a complaint on Tuesday implicating him, and then after they went and did their investigations, he was subsequently charged. And his court date has still not been finalized, so I can't tell him when he might go court and all that. Cherry says that report said a statement was recorded from the complainant on Tuesday implicating him. Bless her little self. She pointed him out. Say, him do it to me. I want to kill somebody just reading that. I want to kill somebody just reading that. Jano. Mel, big up yourself and thank you. I appreciate you greatly. McKevin, go read no more. Yada says, reporter, what's wrong with you? The child was left at the house with whom? You make it sound like no one was responsible for her well-being. Was the house the responsible party? The person who left the house? But man, them people are always majoring in minor is what I call it. Whoever left her there was responsible for her, left her, should have made sure that the mother was there and you was gonna leave her in her care. That's why I mean I left my picnic at my people place. You see what I'm saying? I tell people this all the time, yo. Look at your kids, keep your kids around you for as long as you can. I've always had this saying, and none of my kids, I'm proud to say, none of my children went to any body for babysitting, went to any school, basic school, take care of daycare, none of that until they were all able to say, leave me alone, stop. I'm going to tell my dad or my mom, and he or she did it to me. When them cats said those words, they're ready to go out into the world. Yeah. And even then, I'm afraid. But them if can't say something. I see people, boy, life rough sometimes. You have people out there who are juggling it. Them I try make a life work with. That's why you can't just run in and just start make baby. Responsibilities are gonna be there. You have bills we are gonna pay, need to be paid, and all these things. So when especially when they end up like single mom household and these things, now you have to go leave your child with some people. Trust these people all day while you off to work trying to make bread. Your poor child today I go through. Your child is at the mercy of whoever you leave that child with, because baby can't defend themselves. So if this person want to do anything to your picnic, them can do it. Especially before the child is able to speak, to articulate, to say, I got touched here. Somebody touched me there. Mommy, he did that to me. She did this to me. If your picnic can't say that, I'm telling you, it's best to keep them around you. If you're planning on having children, make sure you put your life in order first, so you can have them around you up to that point. Me not trust nobody. When I say nobody, me mean nobody when it comes to my kids. Absolutely nobody. Yeah, that way. Oh, St. John says, same here, so flow. That's why I worked overnight for 19 years. Why? The whole truth, big up yourself. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Uh, it's rough out here though, man. You have some good women out there sometimes when it's caught up in that situation, really, because you have women out there that gave their life to a man, and it was done. All the right checks were done. He was a good man. We got married before because me never want no children out of wedlock. All this other stuff. She planned everything right, and it still go wrong. And she still get end up left and still get end up being a single mother with her picking them and all these things. And what you gonna do? Lay down and die? Then you can't. So you have to continue. And she said, yeah, I pull myself up by my bootstraps. I go work, and even if I have to work 2 jobs, I'm gonna make sure the bill is paid and the picking them are right. And she goes out and she does these things, but who's watching them children in the meantime? She have to trust this person, that person, whoever is available, kind of thing. And then that's where it gets risky. And this is where it gets risky. Share this with you before. Let me share it again real quick before we move on to the last thing for the morning. There was a pedophile on a video, documentary I was watching. The documentary, I believe, was called Into the Mind of a Pedophile, or Into the Mind of the World's Most Notorious Pedophile. And him did that describe in details how he put himself in certain places to make sure that him meet certain kind of people, and how he vetted his victims to make sure it was easy target and all these things. Them people are intricate enough. I don't know, random thing, no sane person just wake up one day and oops, I did this. Oh my God, what was I doing? No, them people are, they're intricate in their planning. They are intricate in their planning. See? So we talk about this all the time. I feel bad for some of you women out there who have to do the single mother thing. You're human, you get lonely. All this, you want a man, you want company, all kind of something. Put your children first, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Put your children first. Me not leaving my picnic and nobody yard. And if I'm supposed to leave my child with Miss Jane, Miss Jane better can give account. Me no want to hear, oh, me just left her and go down the road there. Left her with who, Miss Jane? Me left her with you. So who did you leave her with now that we up here in the news telling a story about your big son, we are 26, come jump on my like a 4-year-old? Who you left me daughter with? Me just left her with my son. Me never know him would I do something like that. All Miss James would I get some bucks. If she what? If I left her with you, you're responsible. You see, through my head not too good sometimes. I mean, no, so me we go in a school with a teacher over my own. That's another reason why I made sure all my kids were able to speak in sentences before they were able to go out there. All right, I'm gonna left them around here so with you. Cause anybody can be a predator, my friend. Anybody can be a predator. Yeah, that way. With that said, moving on to this last story now. Yes, Carrie Jones, a predator very much studies their prey. A predator not only studies their prey, a predator studies the people around the prey. A predator break down the whole family structure. A predator really pays attention like, she don't have no man. These kids don't have the same daddy. Those two got the same father and they're always closer than this one. All right, I'm going to start pulling on this one right here. The man break down how him used to watch them and him say, okay, this one don't have no shoes because he keeps coming back every time the school year changes and the kids come back with new stuff. This kid comes back with all old shit till it's all torn up and stuff. Hey, little boy, come here. Hey, what's up, man? I see you going to school. What's up? You don't get new things? My opinion, them not entertain no conversation from you. Anytime from my kids are so trained, anytime from you say hi, them say, just like that, you know, them drawing just like this. Hi. Milani, no, she the only one. She hi everybody. Hi, 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 hi. I saw she still. Kai him now from you say hi, Kai go so. I looking like he looking for a way out. But that's how the predator described how he used to do it. And he would call him, hey little boy, come here. You don't get new stuff? I'm observing, I just see that your shoes, like your toes are coming out your shoes. What size do you wear? The little boy says, I don't know. Look inside of your shoes and tell me what size you wear. Little boy looks inside his shoes. You know what the predator said? Once I started instructing him and he was following instructions, got him. That's where I knew I could build on that. I saw deep them go. Once I knew I could build on that. Hey, look inside of your shoes. It's an instruction. That's a instruction. Look inside of your shoes. Tell me what size you wear. Little boy took off him shoes, looking there, roll up the shoes tongue, told him what size he wore. He said, I didn't do anything to him then. I said, okay, bye. I sat out for him now, this time. And I started watching and I kept waiting. And I went and bought him a pair of shoes and he made sure I said him buy Jordans. He was a little black boy and he made sure he bought Jordans. Brand new Jordans, his size. Bought him like 2 pairs. Don't tell anybody I gave these to you. This is just between me and you. The man said, the mom, did not come ask him why you gave my child shoes for. So he knew, again, this time, if I tell him that stuff is between me and him, he's going to keep it between me and him. Got him twice. You see that? I saw them go on. So the little boy take a 2 pair of shoes them now. My little picnic can bring home Jordans and me and ask him where you get these from. Some people ain't even paying attention to their kids. Yeah. So he knows also now you not paying attention to that one. Because how him address himself so little in a Jordans and you not seeing that you didn't buy those shoes. You're not asking where they come from. Okay. Start reeling me now. Notice that he doesn't really hang out with the rest of them. Like everybody walks in their little group, he kind of hangs on in the back by himself. Those are the best ones to go after. I saw the man do a video. That video was so hard for me to watch, but I had to watch it because I wanted to learn. what's in the mind of people like these. I'm saying this to you so you can transfer this into your own life. Be on the lookout. We are grown people, so therefore we are the advocate of these children that are out here, right? Enough of them parents not even pay attention to them, my friend. So we have to pay attention for them. All right. Last story of the morning. This police officer now, Police Constable Lassine Edwards, who has been off the job for 19 years, returned to work last month following his murder acquittal in April by the United States or the United Kingdom Privy Council, which is Jamaica's final court. The man said, I'm feeling very good to be back on the job, but it cannot suffice the long suffering I went through for all those years. However, Edwards has pledged to do his very best to serve his country. Edwards is 53 years old. He is being represented by King Counsel Valerie Nita Robertson, high ranking attorney, is looking forward to compensation from the government for the ordeal that he went through. In freeing Edwards, the Privy Council recommended that the Jamaican authorities compensate him for constitutional breaches and for the miscarriage of justice that was done. The government was criticized by the Privy Council for its lack of resources to provide expert evidence for accused persons and the breaches of the Constitution in relation to trial within a reasonable time. The reason why I'm so vested in this one is because, as you know, Vibes Cartel cases at Privy Council. Look at all the things that I just said in this, right? Look at all the things I just said in this case. So when we tell the people them say the Privy Council is different, the problem is not a lot of people have finances enough to fight all the way up to the Privy Council. So some people just get dashed way in the Jamaican system and they can't fight it go any further. Lucky for Cartel, his money couldn't get him the kind of connections he needed in Jamaica to never see the inside of a prison. However, he does have enough to take himself to the Privy Council. And I guarantee you that the Privy Council is going to look at exactly that in this case here. But you know, so them said a policeman don't really kill the person and I don't know. And them say murder the woman and get rich. Cause about $100 million I'm gonna get now. Don't know how true all that is. Let's go through the story. Edward's trial took place 10 years after he was charged. 10 years after he was charged. The Privy Council found that there was no challenge to Nita Robertson's statement that independent forensic experts, whether on ballistics, GSR, gunshot residue, blood splatter, or handwriting, none of that was available in Jamaica. All right. Edwards was convicted in 2013 for the murder of 23-year-old Aldona Harris, who was the mother of his twin girls. Her body was found with a suicide note beside it at her home in Pembroke Hall, St. Andrew, in September of 2003, and she was fatally shot 4 weeks after she got married to a man who lived abroad. You hear that? She meet a man, she get married, she was shot 4 weeks after. Because the man did go file for her and carry her go foreign and these things, and she got shot right after. She's the mother of his twins, his twin girls. Harris and Edwards were involved in a relationship for 4 years, and they continued the relationship even after the marriage. So she married a man overseas, but she continued the relationship with baby father even after she was married to the man with the overseas. So, in a nutshell, when I tell people, say, you married to somebody from Jamaica, and them they are yard and you they are foreign, yeah, and you, when last you see your spouse, I've been over a year now when I still floor, man, go down a yard still next, okay. Um, Jamaican people use only spice in them food, my friend, and them, and them, Them use only for spice in them food, and they mostly eat organic foods. So you can blood is circulating everywhere properly, and things lead to things, and like a breeze pass and the breeze caress some part of you, and then next thing I don't know how else to explain these things to you, but God go with you. If I don't want to start any problems this morning, somebody go home and everything mash up on Thanksgiving morning, cause something just watch so flow TV and him there and make me think. And that's why you not answer your phone. Hey, hello. I don't want to start nothing for nobody this morning, but mm-mm. If I was gonna be in a long distance marriage, it wouldn't be to a Jamaican. It wouldn't be to a Caribbean person. Period. The whole of them put on them food spicy, see, and them mostly eat the whole of the Caribbean them food spicy, and them mostly eat organic foods. Them not eat the daddy food where you yam. You eat and want to go sleep. Them eat for them food and them want to ride something, climb tree, swim in rivers, jump off of rocks, all kind of expeditions. You see it. So them body act different. Yeah. Uh so a man and woman. Yeah. So me it wouldn't be with that. And can fault me all you want, call me hypocrite all you want, but me want somebody front in the cold if I was going to do something like that. Cause them have winter time, and if them say them alone and we can verify, cause we have FaceTime now, and she can go home like this and say it's cold in here, babe, and I can't wait to hold you and we could warm each other up. Me prefer that. Me prefer that. Not every time me call home, where you there? Why so we just a come from down a river. Yeah, it's hot and nice outside today. See, I'm there. I cook some gungo soup, some beef soup with gungo. You put all the scotch bonnet in there? Yeah, man, me put all the scotch bonnet. Yellow yam in there? Yes, all yellow yam. Trouble. We ate your breakfast this morning. Some peanut porridge. Long distance marriage. So she after she married the man, man go down and say, yes, I love you, I want you, Jamaican girl, all that waist, all you be pelting like them Trinidadians whining down and thing. And yeah, married her and say, I have to have you. I want you in foreign with me. Baby daddy just lay with that. So you must fly out in a boy. You must fly out in a. Mhm. Sorry to tell you, man, but the little 2 weeks where you come down for out of the 365 days, it just wasn't enough. And then you come down and you want to go see here and there and everywhere. And out of the 2 weeks, you touch it about 2 times, three, maybe. That wasn't enough, sir. There's still 360 something days left in the year. You have to go share. Yeah, so sharing start going and you don't know say you share. That's the best, hardest part about sharing. When sharing start going and you don't know say you share, but you share. Them just a send your gratitude. You see people are like all your posts them on IG and everything. Matey, I keep matey close. Like all your posts and everything, you say, yes, I have a new follower. Nice guy. Me don't know me look through him profile and thing. Man, I study your lifestyle. Mm. Edward said, now, Harris and Edwards were involved in a relationship for 4 years, get them twin out tight, and they continued that relationship after the marriage. The foreign man who did marry her. Edwards said that in his defense, that he was sleeping when he heard an explosion and he saw Harris with a firearm in her lap. Uh, he was sleeping. That's his defense. And him hear boom, and when him wake up, him see her with a firearm in her lap. He was convicted of murder and he was sentenced to life imprisonment, and he was ordered to serve 35 years before he could be eligible for parole. The same amount of time when in the cartel. He was to serve 35 years before eligible for parole. The Court of Appeals reduced the sentence to 20 years before parole. Fresh evidence from the Privy Council, from scientific expert, have you all been paying attention to Vybz Kartel case? Fresh evidence from before the Privy Council from scientific experts showed that Harris was seated on the bathroom floor with her back against the closed door, and there was no satisfactory explanation regarding how Edwards would have been able to murder the deceased in that confined space. The Privy Council ruled that based on the fresh evidence, the conviction was plainly unsafe, had to vacate. Yesterday, me see somebody said so Florida man murder him baby mother, and now we more get rich because the Privy Council has ordered that the Jamaican government compensate him for all those years. 19 years, about $100 million. So I had to look into the case. Now, I'm no big expert, but if I was out the room that she was in and she was found back flat up against the bathroom door, I don't know. I don't know. The man come out here, sir. Bust off him case and come out. But look at what they looked at. I'll tell you something else about the Privy Council. You cannot take the same case to the Privy Council. There has to be new added evidence. Fresh evidence has to be added to the case in order for the Privy Council to even accept it. So, for those of you who don't know, but always around me down, you tell me yesterday, say, move on, go from around your cartel supporter. You feel something, them always cuss me. But I'm paying attention to the case. I'm paying attention to the case. Cartel stand a damn good chance of walking. Yeah, because they have nothing. All circumstantial nothing. That's what they had in this case. Now, a person pointed out to me yesterday, no, Benanga, act like a my idea. She said, Soflo, I work in forensics in New York, right? And one question keep bugging me about this case. Was a handwriting analysis done on that suicide note? Mr. Rotted. The answer was no. Was a handwriting analysis done on her suicide note? And the answer is no. So the brother would say, yo, that man murder a girl and come off and no more get rich. Was a handwriting done on that suicide note? Analysis. You know, handwriting analysis, experts can tell, even if you write it with your left hand. Now write this with my left hand and make the bank robbery note look different. Because I know if them catch me and say, write this, I'm right-handed, so it I go look, I write it with my left hand, so it look, they still could tell that it's you who wrote it, or it's not that person who wrote that. That important piece was never done. Anyhow, 19 years, he hasn't been a police officer, and him gone back on the force right away. Me say yesterday, say him probably forget how for police, because it's been a while, not true? But listen, no analysis was done on the suicide note. Remember him saying here, bow, and when him wake up, jump out of him sleep, him see her with the gun in her lap. So she shoot herself and drop down, so and the gun drop in her lap. Somebody say, you did a police officer, man, and you clean up the scene and stage it how you do want to stage it, and then he's been tried He's been convicted. He's been through it for 19 years. He's been exonerated. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave that one right there. Yes, DMAC, a graphologist. So with that said, this is where we sit this morning. I hope our family get justice. I hope they actually find who did it. Something in my eye. I hope they actually find who did it. And welcome home, sir. Let's soon hear something else. Wait. Big up to everybody upon this holiday season thing, Thanksgiving. If you too celebrate it, enjoy your family today. Make it a day that counts. And if you're by yourself, don't feel so down. All right. Some of you, I know what it feels like to be away from home, especially like military people that are deployed, or I don't know, if you're just away from home, you have to work while everybody else there with them family, that kind of stuff. Let's go on well it the same way. All right. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. Me soon start post some picture. Cause me I gonna put on my oxtail right now. And my curry goat right now. That type of day. All right. One love. And at the when we're done with this video, I'm gonna go get the link to Jet Shelly. I think it was my sister Kaita Jai Empress sent it to me. But there's a GoFundMe link that I want y'all to pay attention to. Okay, it's somebody that's a part of our family. Haven't seen her in a while. Apparently, she's going through some things, and a very big supporter of this channel. So I'm definitely going to be asking you to support her as well. All right, just pay attention to the link when I post it. Big up to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, and one love. Catch you later. Peace.